In the relentless chaos of modern existence, where stress and uncertainty seem to define our daily reality, there exists an ancient pathway to tranquility that has weathered the storms of centuries. This path, illuminated by the profound wisdom of Stoicism, offers not merely temporary relief from life's pressures, but a fundamental transformation in how we perceive and respond to the world around us. The Stoic philosophy, particularly as taught by the great philosopher Epictetus, presents us with practical tools that can forge an unshakable inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. The essence of Stoicism lies not in emotional suppression or passive acceptance, but in the radical understanding that our power resides entirely within our responses to life's events. This philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control the winds of fate, we can absolutely control how we set our sails. Through 10 fundamental principles, Stoicism provides a blueprint for living with dignity, resilience, and profound inner strength. The foundation of Stoic living begins with establishing firm purposes in life. Without clear direction, we drift aimlessly through existence, vulnerable to every shifting circumstance and external pressure. Epictetus emphasized that difficulties reveal a person's true character, and the greater the challenge, the more glory exists in overcoming it. This isn't merely philosophical rhetoric, but a call to deliberate action in defining what truly matters to us. A firm purpose emerges through deep, honest reflection on our core values and aspirations. It transcends superficial goals or material achievements, reaching into the realm of principles and character. What do you stand for? What kind of person do you aspire to become? These questions demand uncomfortable honesty and sustained contemplation. The answers form the compass that guides us through life's tumultuous seas. Once identified, this purpose becomes an anchor during storms and a beacon during dark nights. Challenges transform from insurmountable obstacles into manageable steps toward our ultimate destination. When goals and values crystallize, the world's chaos seems to diminish, and colossal problems shrink to their proper proportions. This inner strength, cultivated through Stoic wisdom, creates resilience that external forces cannot easily defeat. The cultivation of firm purpose requires continuous commitment and diligence. It demands showing up consistently, especially when motivation wanes and difficulties multiply. This isn't a one-time decision, but an ongoing process of alignment between our deepest values and daily actions. The purpose serves not as a rigid destination, but as a guiding light that illuminates the path forward, providing security and stability when life's whirlwinds threaten to pull us off course. Equally crucial to Stoic living is the art of guarding our minds against destructive influences. When others offend or hurt us, our natural inclination toward retaliation or emotional overwhelm can be transformed through understanding a fundamental truth. Our emotions result from our thoughts and personal perspectives, not from external events themselves. This revelation shifts power from circumstances to our internal world, where we possess complete sovereignty. Every instance of resisting impulsive reactions builds mental strength and resilience. Like a muscle growing stronger through resistance, our capacity for emotional regulation develops through consistent practice. This begins with small, achievable daily goals that reinforce our ability to control our thoughts and responses. Living in the present moment and deepening our understanding of our emotional patterns creates the foundation for lasting change. The practice of guarding our minds involves setting firm boundaries around what we allow into our mental space. As we wouldn't permit garbage in our homes, we must be vigilant about negative thoughts, toxic relationships, and harmful media influences. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences, uplifting books, meaningful conversations, and supportive people creates an environment conducive to mental clarity and emotional stability. mindfulness and meditation serve as powerful tools. In this endeavor, creating space between stimulus and response. In that gap lies our freedom and power to choose responses aligned with our values rather than our impulses. Regular practice trains the mind to observe without immediately reacting, granting greater control over our emotional landscape and reducing susceptibility to external manipulation. The inevitable experience of criticism provides another crucial testing ground for Stoic principles. Epictetus taught that while we cannot control others' opinions or actions, we retain complete control over our reactions. This means that even harsh criticism need not disturb our inner peace, if we choose to respond from a place of strength rather than defensiveness. Understanding ourselves deeply creates immunity to criticism's sting. When we clearly comprehend our motivations and act according to our principles, external opinions lose their power to destabilize us. This self-awareness forms a protective foundation that prevents us from being easily swayed by others' judgments or expectations. Rather than reacting defensively to criticism, Stoicism encourages us to pause and reflect. Sometimes harsh feedback contains valuable insights that promote growth, though this doesn't mean accepting all criticism as valid. The mature approach involves considering criticism objectively while maintaining our core sense of worth and direction. Patience and gentleness in handling criticism preserve relationships and demonstrate emotional intelligence. By responding with composure rather than reactivity, we model resilience and inspire others to adopt similar approaches. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent to feedback, but developing the strength to receive it without being crushed or consumed by it. The transformation of offense represents another cornerstone of Stoic practice. What frightens and dismays us isn't the events themselves, but our thoughts about those events. This principle liberates us from victimhood by recognizing that our perception and reaction to offenses determine their impact, not the offenses themselves. Transforming offense doesn't require denying natural emotional responses. Feeling hurt or angry when offended is entirely human. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge these emotions without being controlled by them, creating space between the triggering event and our response. In that space lies the power to choose reactions aligned with our long-term well-being, rather than our immediate impulses. Cognitive reframing offers a practical method for transformation. When offended, we can shift perspective and ask what lessons the experience offers. This doesn't mean agreeing with the offender, but extracting potential growth opportunities from difficult situations. Similarly, practicing empathy helps us understand others' struggles that might drive their offensive behavior, enabling compassionate responses rather than reactive anger. Forgiveness emerges as a powerful tool in this process. Holding on to offense and resentment only harms ourselves, like drinking poison and expecting others to suffer. By choosing forgiveness, we free ourselves from negative emotions' burden. Though this doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. Forgiveness becomes a gift we give ourselves, allowing forward movement with peace and clarity. Fear and shame, those deeply rooted emotions that can paralyze progress, yield to Stoic understanding when we recognize that we assign meaning to events, creating these feelings within ourselves. Once we understand this process, we can begin changing our perceptions and responses to fear and shame. Fear often arises from the unknown or anticipated negative outcomes. Rather than avoiding what scares us, Stoicism encourages direct confrontation. Through careful analysis, breaking fears down into specific concerns often reveals their irrationality and reduces their power. For instance, fear of public speaking might stem from worry about judgment, but examining this fear rationally reveals that audiences generally want speakers to succeed, not fail. Shame, that deep emotion making us feel unworthy or flawed, requires courage and self-compassion to overcome. Rather than being defined by past mistakes or societal pressures, we can confront shame directly through reflection and learning. Understanding why mistakes happened and extracting lessons transforms shame from a source of self-loathing into valuable wisdom. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in overcoming shame. Holding on to shame traps us in cycles of self-criticism, while forgiveness releases this burden and enables forward progress. This doesn't mean excusing mistakes, but acknowledging them, learning from them, and then letting them go. Gradual exposure to fear and shame-inducing situations builds resilience over time, making these emotions more manageable. The practice of anticipating obstacles, or premeditatio malum, prepares us to face difficulties with composure and thoughtfulness. This isn't pessimism or expecting the worst, but realistic preparation for life's inevitable challenges. By envisioning potential difficulties and considering our responses, we're not caught off guard when problems arise. This mental rehearsal builds resilience and adaptability. When we've mentally practiced handling difficulties, we're less likely to be thrown off balance by their actual occurrence. We become more flexible and capable of maintaining composure. Hallmarks of Stoic philosophy. This preparation also involves maintaining balanced perspectives that acknowledge both potential challenges and our resources for overcoming them. Anticipating obstacles develops patience and perseverance by fostering long-term mindsets that value persistence over immediate success. When we expect challenges, we become more patient with processes and more resilient in facing setbacks. Regular reflection on past experiences helps identify patterns and refine our approaches to future obstacles. Inner strength and response control represent the heart of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus's famous teaching that it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters encapsulates this principle's essence. Our true power lies not in changing external circumstances, but in mastering our internal responses. This inner strength develops through self-awareness and deliberate practice. It begins with recognizing emotions without being overwhelmed by them, observing feelings and understanding their roots, rather than suppressing them. This awareness enables better management of our reactions and builds the foundation for consistent growth. The Stoic distinction between what we can and cannot control proves crucial for maintaining inner peace. We cannot control others' actions or opinions, but we can control our attitudes and responses. Focusing on controllable elements conserves energy and reduces unnecessary stress, while empowering us to remain grounded amid external turbulence. Forgiveness contributes significantly to inner strength by freeing us from grudges and resentment that drain energy and cloud judgment. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but releasing its hold on us. Through forgiveness, we create space for healing and growth while maintaining our emotional equilibrium. Building resilience involves viewing setbacks as character strengthening opportunities rather than defeats. Every challenge becomes a chance to practice perseverance and fortitude. Over time, this practice fortifies inner strength, making us more adaptable and less susceptible to life's inevitable fluctuations. The principle of restraining actions doesn't advocate for emotional suppression or passivity, but for creating thoughtful space between impulses and responses. This pause allows reflection and conscious choice of appropriate actions rather than reactive behaviors, driven by immediate emotions. This practice transforms our interactions with the world by introducing intentionality into our responses. In traffic, instead of responding to inconsiderate drivers with road rage, we can choose calm responses that maintain our peace and dignity. This approach extends to all areas of life, from professional interactions to personal relationships. Restraining actions also involves delaying gratification and working toward long-term goals rather than seeking immediate rewards. This develops discipline and resilience while building patience and perseverance. In communication, This means speaking mindfully and considering our words' impact before expressing them, leading to stronger, more respectful relationships. Self-restraint requires ongoing self-awareness and discipline. It involves being conscious of our impulses and actively choosing to control them through personal boundaries, mindfulness practices, and new habits supporting our goals. This reasoned approach leads to better outcomes and greater sense of control over our lives. The power of acceptance forms another fundamental Stoic principle, recognizing that acceptance is the first step toward effective action. When we resist reality, we waste energy and create unnecessary suffering. Accepting situations as they are enables us to focus on productive responses rather than futile resistance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, but finding strength in adversity by understanding that every event offers opportunities for growth and learning. When faced with difficulties, we can ask what lessons they provide and how they might strengthen our character. This perspective transforms obstacles into stepping stones for personal development. Cultivating acceptance involves letting go of perfectionism and recognizing that the relentless pursuit of perfection leads to stress and dissatisfaction. By accepting that perfection is unattainable, we can appreciate our efforts and progress while embracing our flaws and setbacks with compassion. Gratitude serves as a powerful tool for developing acceptance by shifting focus from what we lack to what we have. This abundance mindset helps us see good in our lives even during challenges, reinforcing positive outlooks and strengthening our ability to accept and appreciate life as it unfolds. The final principle of living according to nature involves recognizing our place in the world and acting in accordance with our rational and social nature. This means living authentically and in harmony with the universe, while understanding our true nature through introspection and reflection on our values, strengths, and purpose. Living according to nature requires accepting life's natural cycles of growth, stability, decline, and renewal. By embracing these transitions, we navigate life's changes with greater ease and grace. This principle also involves cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which guide us through challenges and ethical decisions. As social beings, living according to nature means recognizing our interdependence and contributing to our community's well-being through empathy, compassion, and cooperation. This involves simplifying our lives and focusing on what truly matters, stripping away excess to concentrate on core values and essential needs. Environmental consciousness also plays a role in living according to nature, as we have a responsibility to care for the planet and preserve its resources. Making sustainable choices and respecting ecological balance honors our connection to nature and contributes to future generations' well-being. These 10 Stoic principles offer a comprehensive framework for achieving unshakable inner peace and resilience. They remind us that true power lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering our own minds and actions. By embracing this ancient wisdom, we can navigate modern life's complexities with dignity, strength, and profound tranquility, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and finding peace amidst any storm.